are live. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode 166 of the RGT podcast. You know, today's episode is definitely special, man. We have a very talented individual here with us today, and I've been looking forward to this interview for a minute. As you guys already know, Resident Evil is a big part of my childhood. I love the franchise, and I absolutely love what they've done with Resident Evil, with the new approach, with the first-person aspects. And today, I am like literally shocked, but we have the voice and mocap of the very adorable / creepy Mia Winters herself. We have the one and only Katie O'Hagan. Katie, how are you? Welcome.
I am very good. Very good.
Alrighty. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you. What's up, Hustle? What's up, Dark?
Hey, guys.
Everybody in the chat, if you're joining this late, or if you're watching this at a later time, go ahead, hit that like button, share it around, and I appreciate y'all. Now, what am I saying? Saying about that. This is about this lovely lady of the hour. We're here with Katie O'Hagan. So, Katie, you know, I got to start this off for everybody, man. Everybody we have on here. Shout out to everybody we've had. But personally, Katie, I got to ask you this. What got you into the industry?
Oh, it actually... it kind of was luck of the draw.
Okay.
So always, you know, industry-wise, acting-wise, I started young in theater, always loved doing that stuff. Decided I wanted to move out from Chicago to LA to go more into the theatrical film side of things. And while I was out here, you know, I've been out here 11 years, and through those years, you get a lot of auditions and agents and meet people, and a lot of it you do on your own. So I was submitting myself for a lot of auditions, and one happened to be for a video game, and I had never done anything like that before. So jumped in, submitted myself because I kind of fit the role, and they were looking for demonic and crazy, and to me that would be really fun to play. And I got an audition, and so from the audition, you know, went in, did some crazy stuff. It was really physical, got a call back. And then the next thing I know, you know, they tell me I booked this game and I'd be doing motion capture and voice. And it was like, I've literally never done anything like this before. Let's see what happens. And I had no idea. I had no idea it was Resident Evil. I had no idea about anything. So...
You definitely surprised me in that one. I will say that. You surprised me in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that I surprised myself. But it was I was definitely thrown in, not knowing anything. So I had to learn on the spot how motion capture works, terminology, how it is the same and different than theater or film acting. So it was a learning experience. RE7 was a learning experience.
Okay. So, you know, now that you're in the game and everything, I got to ask you, you know, what drove you to really audition for it? Like, what was the process behind it?
I mean, for the audition, it was, I saw it was on one of the casting sites, and they were looking for, you know, Caucasian female, 5'7", to play a demonic, possessed, zombie-esque character. And I have always loved doing creepy stuff. Halloween's my favorite time of year. I love playing zombies. I've before RE7, I had been cast as zombies a couple of times in plays or commercials. So I was like, ooh, rarely get to do this because most people look at me and don't think of me that way. So I usually have to really put myself out there. So I was like, you know, I'm just going to submit, see what happens. I don't have any experience, so who knows if I'll even get an audition. And then I did, and I went into the audition like any other. I thought it would be going into a room in front of a camera and a casting director and reading lines, you know. And I walk in, and it was a full motion capture stage, and they had like a pseudo scene, but most of it was improvised. And they were just like, yeah, so we want you to start here and then move to this and do this. But during this time, you're slowly going from normal to crazy to possessed to killing and stabbing and like all these
we'll get to that.
things.
Yeah, definitely that
yeah.
scene.
Yeah. So that was all in the audition, and it was all very crazy demonic. And then they also, it got to a point like, it was a typical audition. I'm an actor. I was looking all cute, made sure to wear a nice outfit, do my hair and makeup, wearing boots to make myself look a little taller. And I got there and they were like, yeah, we need you to move a lot more. So I ended up having to like take my shoes off and like, because I'm crawling around during the audition. I have never sweat so much during an audition.
Wow.
It was really cool. My favorite part though was at one point our director sat himself in a chair like at the far end of the stage, and he just told me, he's like, imagine it's pitch black and I want you to start at one end of the stage and slowly work your way towards me, and I want you to try to scare me, like without touching, without doing anything, just this movement towards, with sounds, with whatever, try to scare me if it was pitch black. And so that's what I did. I was like crawling and noises and the growling and the, you know, twitching and just all these different things. And some he could hear it, but then we also had the other, the whole Capcom team was there. And at the time I didn't know it. I just thought this was like producers and stuff.
Right.
So they're all watching. So I'm twitching and crawling. And it worked. It worked.
Wow.
So, yeah, after that, they called me to come back to for a callback to read the normal version of the character, as they liked my crazy, and they're like, let's see if she can also be normal. So my callback was normal, and then normal to crazy, and then like 2 days later, I got the call that I got the role. So.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Now, this question, because we're going to go right to that now. How would you describe the process of bringing, you know, Mia to life? Was it really a challenge? Now, you say you were sweating and everything. And I'm going to bring up a scenario here, especially with the first one, with the hallway scene where she's like very timid, very frightened, and then she goes to the demonic form. She throws him through the wall. How did you like bring yourself to that state of mind for this like character? Like, you really took it some other extra notches that threw me out of it.
Thank you. I think the biggest thing for me was, I mean, in my head, I was cast first as demonic. Like that I had nailed. It was actually trying to find the normal and confused that was a little bit harder.
Okay.
Yeah, like it was a little bit harder with, you know, not as much backstory and what is really going on for this character to be like flipping. And then when she is normal, she's kind of scared and frightened, but then she's also like, no, we have to do this. So there was, the normal version was actually for me a little bit harder than the crazy version.
That's
that
with the
makes
mom,
sense.
you know, the mom section where you had to like be stealth and get away from the mom. She got the bugs everywhere. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't know how she did this, because you went from that to being scary just as her, and then, you know, like, it was shocking. I still remember that shot, like, she throws you up the stairs, right? And then, like, you look down the stairs, and you're doing, like, that grudge type of the ring walk up the stairs. I was trying to go, what is happening now? And then it just jumps in your face, so.
That was so much fun, only because, like, sometimes when you're on a motion capture set, like you just have little things to work with. Like they set up boxes and that's your couch, or they set up, you know, a small chair or some pipes that are a door. But for that, I actually had a set of stairs. So I actually got to crawl up and down stairs to give a little bit of the feel and the look. And I've been doing that creepy stuff since I was a kid. So that was easy.
Oh, Katie, now you making me worry. You've been doing grudge walks up the stairs? What's going on here?
That's like the cool, that type of stuff to me is so cool. Like I love scary movies. I always watch them to be like, ooh, can I contort my body? Can I, you know, would I be able to, how flexible am I? Could I do that? Nope, definitely can't do that, but I can do this. So it was always finding what I can do and what I can balance. And what was really cool was, you know, they let me know when she turns into this, she can't control it. It fully takes over and she tries to fight it. So we got a little bit of that push and pull when she goes.
So that little,
is that?
Right. That little barrier is there. Okay.
Like you get a little bit of that. So I knew that much to play with, but it was really great that they just let us play. You know, they really on set, I had the lines and I would just do it how I wanted to do it. And then they'd either let me know, we want more, we want less, you know, they would adjust. But in my head, since this was the first thing I ever did, I was like, okay, I need to prove that I can be this scary. So I got to go all out, and they can reel it back in. And it was great because one of the first things I did was that scene where I throw him and I scream go in that like horrid guttural like deep voice, and I rip something off. And so that was like one of the first crazy things, and the first time I really got to let my voice go crazy. And I loved it because I could literally see like the crew kind of like that jolt back of, did that just come from her? Like, we were not expecting this.
When you put out the chainsaw, that was hilarious because you goes, I love you, Neither, but you shouldn't have done that. So he starts cutting up the hand. I'm like, okay, this is getting really weird right now because you get the whole section. Then of course
like
the
this
dad
poor
comes out.
Guy.
Yeah.
Yep. Poor guy comes in and, you know, he wants to save his wife. And the next thing you go, she's just like, you shouldn't have done that. It fucking hurt. And just chainsaw that arm right off. And I'm like, what man wouldn't run
I would have been gone
so quickly out of that house?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not afraid to admit I'd be gone.
Like, not only that, but I remember reading like the different scenes, and when it got to the one where you choose Zoe or Mia, in my head, after everything I had already done, I was like, no one's gonna choose Mia. She's psychotic.
Yeah, and it was and then you were shot. Like everybody's like, no, Mia's innocent. I'm just going, so that's my arm.
I mean, it was put back on, so it's not that big of a deal. Like,
if you want to call that on, even though it didn't. I mean, it makes sense obviously when you play the second one, but
yes,
never really made sense. I was sitting there going, okay, he's throwing peroxide on his arm and then it's reattached. I never.
Peroxide is magical. One thing Ari has taught us is peroxide is the magic potion.
Oh man, it never gets old. That scene never.
There it is. Just,
Then 5 seconds later, because I was moving his fingers like, it works.
He's like, hey, look at that, all good. A couple of staples. I mean, it's no biggie. No biggie.
Oh God. I don't know what was more creepier, like your particular character in that sense or the mother. Actually, the dad was more comical than me personally. He was having fun. He was having fun with the road too, but a little too comical.
That's what was so cool about 7 was everybody had so much fun because everybody got to be such an extreme character at some point in time. I love doing scenes with Sarah Coates, who played Marguerite. She is like the sweetest thing. She's so much fun. And then when she went into Marguerite mode, it was like, oh dear God. Like, what is happening? It was so much fun shooting that scene where I'm running away from her and we're under the house and she grabs me and drags me. Like, that was such a fun scene to shoot. And because it almost felt like a fun house because we were on the ground and they put like tape across. So we knew like, okay, whatever you do, you can't go higher than where this tape is.
Right.
So, like, we always had to be careful. You know, you get up too high and you'd hit it. And so, you know, it was kind of learning your space that you could work in. But at the same time, having to do that whole scene and kick and run and drag. And it was a good time. Good time.
Oh, God. Let me move here. So when you see the advancements in, you know, technology over the years, how does it make you feel seeing, you know, this character evolve? Now, obviously, Mia now, right, especially in Village, looks really like you. You know, looks really realistic. Looks just like you, like your carbon copy compared to what we had on PS4 and Xbox One. How do you feel seeing that, you know, evolution with her?
Trippy, because it is another model that they use. So it was another model, I believe her name was Savannah, and she was Mia for both of them. And so my quirks and ticks and hear my voice on another woman's face like that's really trippy. But the difference between 7 and 8 even is insane, because I'm like, the character just looking more and more like real people.
Yeah.
It's so creepy, but really cool at the same time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, you watch, because I remember it was 7. There were parts that felt visually like a video game. So you're like, yeah, this is really cool, but it still feels like a video game. Whereas 8, like some of those scenes I watch, and they're almost heart-wrenching, because with 8, my character grew a lot, and I had a lot more emotional and heart-wrenching scenes versus the like crazy action fun of 7.
Of course.
We can call it fun. But in 8, I had to go like a whole different route with my character, and to on such a realistic it is really neat. It's just you really feel like it's you, even though it's physically looking like someone else. Everything else, you're like, oh, that's me right there.
Yeah, it's crazy looking at all the scenes. I'm like, okay, I wonder how she feels being part of this. Like, that's just the wild part. Seeing it go from this. Let
Cool.
me see here.
And I'm very grateful, that is for sure, that this all happened, because when I accepted the role, I did not know what I was in for. I did not know it was the Resident Evil universe.
What was your favorite Resident Evil installment? And have you played all of them? You gotta cut out. You said yes?
All of them. So I've seen 7 and 8 through, I do a lot of live streams with people, and charity runs and speed runs. So it's kind of cool. I've been able to see both of my games on. So that's really neat. I've seen bits and pieces of other games, but I started a Twitch channel, and I really kind of want my first experience to be with everyone. So I want to do 7 and 8 and then go back and play all of them. I start just the very original RE, which is just a lot of like running around, and I still can't figure out how to kill the stupid zombies. Like, it's just no matter what I do, they just won't go down. So it's very... Oh, yeah. I just want like a gun or something. I'm like, why? I can't block, I can't stab, they just eat me, and then it's like game over, start again. So
wait till you get to Nemesis. Did she get to Nemesis?
Games, I at least know a little bit more of what I have to be doing through those. So I'm gonna start with those and then go to the others. But yeah, I do know lots of bits and pieces. I know a lot of the actors, which is cool. So I'm excited to go back and now see their performances.
The streams, yeah, those streams be hilarious, because I've seen, I think it's Nicole, right? Nicole plays, and all of you kind of like pitch in and kind of like either recite your lines, which I'd be laughing so hard at, like especially with I forgot which stream it was. I know Maggie was in one of them. She was sitting going, we finally meet, and then I think you were in one of them, right? They were showing the beginning with the book, and you were sitting going, I love this shit. I was sitting going, what is happening here? Why is nobody playing this? What is happening here? And then everybody kept having their own little ticks, and then Becca jumps in and goes, Mother, I bring you fresh pins. I was like, oh, okay, they're having too much fun with this.
Yeah. It's so installed in you. I mean, I hadn't worked on 7 in so many years. I hadn't really done anything, and Nicole invited me on her stream because she was playing different people on. So Paula Rhodes and I both came on because she played the very end of 7 with the 2 of us in there. And you can't say the line. As they come up, and it had been like 4 years since I had to recite any of those lines, and the next thing I know, it's just one after the other just come out of, now go kill that little bitch, like, and of course all my lines like swears, so I can't even show like my nieces and nephews. Like, I won't be the cool aunt for another 5 years until they're old enough to play these games. Like,
you won't even let them touch it, huh? You won't let them see you be dynamic.
7. They're like 7 and 8.
That's when we all started. We all snuck and played this game when we were 7. What do you mean?
7 and 8 are pretty disturbing. I don't know if I want them. They will have nightmares. And Aunt Katie's fun and nice. Like I don't swear according to them. So
Oh, that's gonna be a change pace.
it's gonna be a little surprise for them in a couple of years when they finally get to see and play it. But I'm gonna be the really cool aunt, so it's all good.
Oh no. Since you're on that, what was your favorite memory playing Mia Winters? It could be in Biohazard, it could be Village. What was your favorite moment?
So hard.
Personally, I think I can name one. I think it's the one when you chop off Ethan's arm. You set the tone.
Chainsaw is like one of my favorite scenes, and it's multiple things. Partially because I got to go from normal to crazy in the same scene. So like in the same take, same scene, I got to do that. It wasn't like, okay, we'll shoot normal, then we'll come back and shoot crazy. So that was really fun to be able to do that. Also, Todd, our Ethan, he is fantastic, but he's
the guy
also
whose
tall.
face we never see, but we see his
never,
hands.
You never get to see it because you are Ethan. That's the point. It's like the player is Ethan. So
I don't want to say that because I would have been gone as soon as you start doing the twitches. I would have been gone. I'm just that's just me. I'd have been gone. I'm like, honey, you all right? You all right? You go, no. I'd be like, I'm out the door. I'm running.
Ethan, but you have to go along with whatever he does, kind of, sort of. It's a mix.
I got to ask him that question. What is Capcom's fascination with chopping off his arm? What is their fascination? They keep chopping off his arms.
That's what I said. I just was like, you got it in 7. You get fingers in 8, then a hand in 8. At one point in 7, I think his leg gets like sliced. Like this poor guy.
Yeah, you make the wrong decision with the trap door. The dad like shovels your leg off or something. I'm like, okay, this is pretty grotesque.
Yeah, but awesome all at the same time. So, I mean, who would say that is what they do for a living? Like,
oh no. Did you ever think Mia was going to be such a well-received character when you first was trying, auditioning and doing the role? Or did you were you kind of up in the air, because, the horror thing, think about it, is kind of over-saturated, right? A lot of people kind of want characters with a little bit more to them and everything.
Definitely. So I didn't find out it was Resident Evil until about a year into shooting it. So at about a year in is when I found out it was Resident Evil. And that's when we found out that they were bringing back the horror roots. So they kind of went away from it for a few games and they wanted to go back to their horror roots. And I was really excited because I've always wanted to be in a horror movie. Like there's so much stuff I would love to do. So for me, it was kind of like, oh, I'm finally doing it. I'm in like a legit horror franchise. Like this is going to be awesome. And as we shot it, as I said before, when you pick Mia Zoe, I honestly thought everyone was going to hate Mia. That was part of my challenge, being the actor, is that I was kind of like, I have to do all this stuff, but how can I make myself even slightly likable so people don't just say like I don't give enough, like how I balance that. So part of it was finding that balance, and I think a lot of that came in working with Todd, like the Mia and Ethan chemistry and the different scenes with them. You got a little bit more feel, and then I feel like in 8 you really got so much more from Mia, where like you can actually see a little bit more of how she grew, became less selfish, just cared about her family, more vulnerable, and just all she wanted to do was protect this family and world. Like it's all she had, and that's all she wanted to protect. So it was kind of cool getting the chance that side of her, because there was a little bit of a fear that if hated her in 7, it'd be very easy for them never to bring her back. So it was nice. A, I didn't build off in 7, and B,
you definitely rejuvenated. I will say that, because Resident Evil was going through a bad slump at the time. Everybody was calling them more action than anything. And I know you've seen the movies, right? The Resident Evil movies. That basically became the template for the games to an extent, and a lot of people really didn't like that. So when they saw you and just the the whole chainsaw thing, you doing the little ticks and doing the little grudge walk up the stairs, they're like, yeah, this is what we want, survival. Survival horror. But before we got that, I think we got it was Resident Evil 2. Actually, no. When we got yours, then we got Resident Evil 2 remake. So really, that's the other good thing about it too. We got Capcom, so to speak, back on their right footing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was 2 came out, and then I think the remake of 3 came out, then 8 came out. So it was like they were back going like, okay, we can make this better, we can touch it up, we can do these things. And with 8, at least how I feel about 8, I feel like they kind of melded these two worlds, because 8, you get the horror, you get the running around hiding, and all of that, but there are sections that are very shoot 'em up, like Heisenberg. It's just like, let's get this giant tank with guns and just go for it. So I feel like they kind of melded the idea. So for people who are like, oh, I liked the shoot 'em up, I don't like the horror.
Yeah.
And then people are like, I like horror, I don't like the shoot 'em up. I feel like, horror 8 still had the horror, gave you a little bit of the shoot 'em up. So you kind of they were like finding the balance. And I think they did a really cool job with it.
When I streamed, because I streamed the entire game of, Village on the channel. When I streamed it, when we got to that, I'm talking about that big battle section with Chris, and you're fighting the Lycans on the Village. When we got to it, I was sitting going, guys, not for nothing, this actually could work for the game first person. I'm they were like, really? I was like, yeah, this feels great. This for the setting, but especially when you go to the pace that we had in the beginning with, having nothing and then going against fish monsters and Lycans, losing fingers. You having PTSD from your wife being a demon.
She fought it off as much as she could. There was.
I don't know. It didn't seem like she tried. She could have fooled me with the when she throws you to the wall. I don't know. It was a little. I don't think she tried.
I'm away from her. She did say go. She was like, stay away, go. She's always telling him. He just didn't listen.
Yeah, he doesn't listen.
And I mean, she hit her head against a wall when she thought she was going to fight him, and she needed to just knock herself out. So,
funny thing is, I thought your character was going to be killed off mad early because we shoot her. In the beginning, I thought she was dead. I was thinking, okay, I was harsh. You fast forward, she's alive and well. She's still doing the demonic voice. Like, okay, she's not dead. You
would think would be the end of someone, but I've realized fairly quickly that in the RE universe, that is not the end of someone.
Absolutely. It's never the end. It's never the end.
Fire a chop them in half, and their torso will crawl towards you to still attack you. So
you try to give people PTSD just to get their torsos to crawl to you.
Just like army crawling.
I still can't get over you did that. That's why I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. You did the whole grudge walk. I'm sitting going, okay. No comments. No comments. Shout out to Blaze. I'm guessing he's on his way here. He dropped the $5 super chat. He says fire. He says he loves the show. Shout out to Blaze.
What up, Blaze?
Mr. Fatboy Horror, he dropped the $5 super chat. He says agreed. Found Resident Evil 8 to be a good mix. Shout out to you. And that's all. Let me go back to this. Personally, when you go back again to this game, how well she was received. Did you have any any regrets playing her at any particular point? Like, was there any particular scene that was like, I don't know if I can do this type of thing, or was it all just kind of like a good one shot? It was fine.
Great. We had to redo a lot of scenes, but that was more, we want to rework the animation, so we want to reshoot. But the only scene, still to this day, well, I guess I've had a scene now in both games that.
Yeah.
There was that one scene that I did it and it felt fine, but there was still a part of me being like, I feel like this is going to look so weird. So it was the scene where I bashed my head against the wall and I'm literally talking to myself, like, I got to get her out of my head. Stay away. Yeah. And like she's saying these lines and bashing her head. And always felt really weird doing it, like the bashing and the falling and saying like, I've been bad, I deserve this. Whack. Like, always felt a little. So that one I always chuckle when I watch it, because I remember the feeling I had shooting it of like, I hope this turns out okay.
I take it nobody had a straight face. They couldn't keep a straight face when you're doing that and the whole shooting, right? Everybody was sitting there going, this is watching you do this on your head and you fell. Oh,
That's
wow.
why you just got to make sure not to look anywhere else but like what you're focusing on. And then 8, I would say the opening scene, getting shot to bits by Chris and his team. That scene was a little tough because I've never been riddled with bullets, so it was a new thing. Oh, okay, so this will happen. This will, like, here are all my cues, and then we're just gonna hear all this, and you need to just be hit a ton of times, fall down, but then you're gonna do this, and then he's gonna hit you 3 more times. So while you're on the ground trying to get up, you gotta do 3 more, and yeah, that was interesting.
When that happened,
when
that happened, I was sitting there going, okay, what do we do, Chris? What's your problem? Like, he ain't shoot you not once, twice. This man shot you like 3, 4 clips. Then he pulled out his pistol and shot you another 18 times. Like, okay, am I missing something here? What happened?
I originally got the scene that we were going to shoot, and I had missed the read-through because I was at a wedding, and so I got to the day of shooting, and I was talking with Todd, being like, I'm so bummed. I can't believe they're killing me off this quickly. Like, I was so excited to get asked to come back.
Twist. Yeah.
They're killing like right away, and Todd just looked at me and he's like, oh, you don't know, do you? And I'm like, what don't I know? And he's like, yeah, that's not you. I was like, what do you mean? And then it made more sense. So by the time we shot it, I was like, I had a better understanding of what was actually going on. But because I was like, what in the hell? I know Mia was a basket case, but there's been 3 years between. What did she do to piss Chris off so much that he is gonna like not only riddle her with bullets, but like tear up their house?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Then you find out it was like all strategically planned. It's like, oh, that makes sense. But now it's gotten into creepy territory. How long has she been here? You know, that was the question. How long has she been there? But it's like, okay, interesting.
wearing the same clothes, so it really couldn't have been all that long.
Yeah.
Kind of thought of like, it really couldn't have been. She definitely is Rose's mother, so it was at some point after Rose was born.
Yeah, I saw some have theories saying that she wasn't really, or Mia wasn't really the mom. I'm saying, I don't think she was there that long, guys.
Definitely the mom.
Yeah, that's definitely her mom. She looked just like her.
I'll fight you on that. That is my baby girl. Rosemary's mine. Don't get me started. That is my baby.
Oh, man.
You can see with her personality, she takes after her mother. So.
She definitely does when she's older. She definitely got that fire in her. Those little ticks, she shows them.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't.
She's got those little bit turns, just quick, just careful. But yeah, that bullet scene was a tough one. We had to do that a couple of times because it was not knowing flail or what they wanted, where to get hit. We just trying to figure out what they wanted, stuff like that. So ultimately, we got it.
Oh man, I'm gonna have fun with that one. Before I get to the next question, shout out to Ice Cream Gaming for the $3 super chat. Shout out to her, and shout out to Persona. What's up, Persona? And Barry, I see y'all in the chat. What's up? Now, Mia, do you play a lot of games? I know you have a Twitch channel, which shocked me. I was sitting there going, Katie, I don't see you on YouTube. I don't see that face on YouTube playing games. I don't see no playthroughs. I don't see this stuff. But you said you do, so I know you play games. But what is your favorite genre in terms of horror games?
You playing games is very, very new. I grew up with lots of brothers, so attempting to play any video games usually was not easy because the controller would just be taken away from me because I was terrible at games. So I grew up with Nintendo and Atari.
Oh, okay.
Like super cool. Love me some Bomber and Frogger, just the classics. Okay. Gotta love the classics. definitely Duck Hunt, but I was that cheater with my gun like, right
right in the screen.
Yeah.
That's how it was
like,
in Resident Evil. Did they
scratch.
tell you to shoot outside? That's the little trick. They're like, shoot outside the screen. Like, okay, House of Dead.
So that's how I started, and then I, really went away from it. And then once this came up, Evil, I was like, okay, I need to learn a little bit more. So it was a lot more me watching people because I was so bad at it.
Okay.
And then finally, in 2017, got a PlayStation and attempted a little bit of Resident Evil 7. Stopped though because I was like, holy crap! Like I had to go online every 2 seconds.
Huh? You couldn't go back after that. You couldn't go back.
Have that. Went back to that. So yeah, I basically 2017 was like, okay, I have it, and then it's very light. And then with COVID, even more so this year, it was all right. People, I didn't even know about Twitch and people streaming games online until people would ask me to be a part of their streams. And I was like, wait, I can try doing this and make a fool of myself because I'm kind of not very good at this. So the plan is to start streaming. So I've done little streams with the VR, I like experiences in the VR. And I realized that I definitely need a better gaming setup to be able to actually stream games. So that is the actual streaming of games is what I'm working on, because y'all have a lot that you put together to be able to do this stuff. I give you mad props because it is taking months. Like I get little pieces, think I'm good to go, and then something online tells me like, oh no, that doesn't work with Mac, or that doesn't work over there, or you need
green
these
screens,
plugs.
right?
So.
I know you've been trying to get in the green screens. I'm sort of going, you know, all that can be done on a graphics card now, right?
I got a capture card. I was really excited. I got a capture card. I read about how to set it up. I set it up. I put it on my Mac, and it wasn't connecting to my OBS. And then I read a thing online saying, "Oh yeah, this game capture card doesn't work with Macs and OBS."
Do I have to build the PC? Is that what you're saying here? Do I have to build it? I have to build this PC. Y'all seeing this live? Oh no.
Need a PC that will actually do all this stuff so I can start actually streaming. Because for me just sitting there playing isn't as much fun as me with a headset on, turning around in circles and screaming and falling to the ground. Like that's more fun. So I want to do the VR experiences.
Yeah, you really have been all in for VR. My sister was showing my family that a couple of days ago when we went to North Carolina. She brought the Quest, I think it's called the Quest. And I was sitting there going, yeah, it's cool. She's like, no, you don't understand, Ryan. It's so great. I'm like, I know what it is to make. I have one. And she's like, you don't have one. I don't know.
She had you beat. She should have known better.
No, she looked dumbfounded when I pulled this out. And I was like, you're not the only one who's got one. Mine's wired though. Hers is wireless. Mine's wired. So mine has like a little receivers.
I have to be careful about.
Yeah, it's got the receivers everywhere. I'm like, it's fun, but it is a hassle to set up everywhere. Unless you got a wireless
set up, but it's like once you have it, like it's all good. Like I have my space. It's just getting that PC that link everything up, because I did the shark dive experience in VR, which was pretty trippy.
Ah, yeah, you're in the cage. Yeah.
Yep. Fun. So I did that, and I streamed it straight through my PlayStation, which was cool, but then people couldn't see me, so I recorded that separately, and then online I put it together for people to enjoy.
Did you play 7 in VR? I'm surprised Village didn't get VR support yet. I'm guessing they're probably going to wait down the road, but that shocked me because it was such a big pivotal thing for 7, the VR support. That really...
Surprise.
Yeah, that elevated it up a few levels for a lot of people.
We had to do so much more with 7 because it was going to be in VR. Like constantly redoing scenes or working on stuff. Or there was a lot of thought into, you know, look in VR versus not VR, because you can play it both ways. So when we shot stuff, it was always finding this like magic little area of this will terrify you in VR, but it also could scare the crap out of you regular. And that was really fun getting to play both sides of that. So hopefully I'm hoping that they'll do it in 8, but I don't know.
Yeah, they have to
Like,
probably recall everybody, right, to do all the scenes again, more likely.
Well, I would love the work, but I don't know if that would happen, and I don't know if after the fact, tech-wise, you all of a sudden
Katie's
go, hey,
like, I'm
we're
down
gonna
for it, guys. I
change
just
this
want to
back."
work. I just want to get back on the road.
I just really like Mia.
Oh man, I mean, we're about to see you soon again, and 9 at this point. You know, we're gonna see you probably be.
I wish. Hope. I guess I hope it would be the best way to put it.
Oh, maybe not. I'll put a disclaimer. I'll say maybe. I'll say maybe, maybe not. But more like we'll probably see her in 9, hopefully. Capcom, if you're watching, put her in 9. Seriously, put her in 9.
Thank you.
Shout out to Capcom. No, I gotta ask you this, because
Always.
you know I keep watching the mocap scene, especially when they do like the scene with the creepy doll and Maggie when she throws the dresser, and of course you. Now I got a visual aid of you walking up the stairs in the grudge like. So I'm looking at all this, I'm picturing all this. I gotta ask you, do you think mocap is harder to do than traditional acting? Would you say? Oh, you're like muted.
Aware.
Oh no, you said that again?
Like-
It was like muted. It was delayed. Your mic was like, dude. There you go.
You have to be more aware of everything. With your body, you have to do things slightly bigger, but not too big where it's comical. So you have to do it bigger than film acting, smaller than theater. So it's right in the middle. I think between mocap and voice, for me, voice is even harder. I think voice acting is one of the hardest forms of acting personally, because a lot of times you are just in a room by yourself. So you have to pull everything out of just you. Yeah. Whereas, you know, on the stage and a film, usually you're working with somebody.
Right, you got a better idea.
Yeah. Mocap for Resident Evil, you know, we did the mocap and voice on the stage. And then some scenes would be added or they would need to fix the audio. So we would go into the booth later and do ADR sessions. But we at least got a lot of the acting on the stage. So I props to actors who are like, they just go into room. Actors, like they create all this like by themselves in a booth with a microphone. Like it's hard. It's really hard. And that's something like I've been working on a lot. But even motion capture, it's I remember when I first went in 7, because I didn't have a full understanding of how it all worked. I had a theater. So like when I'm sad, when I'm tired, like my head goes down and I'm but the sensor cameras can't pick you up then. So to be more aware of like, oh, we lost Katie's face, we got to do it again. Or even making eye contact with people, because if you think about it, Paula Rhodes played this little tiny doll. So when people were talking to her, they, even though she's here, you had to look down here. Same with Maggie, she's here, but you got to look all the way up here. So lines you had to be aware of and who you're talking to. So it's cool, but film is doing a lot of. Look at Avengers, you look at Planet of the Apes and Avatar, and they're doing all this motion capture. So I kind of love seeing that bleeding into the film industry also. And so these forms of acting are all starting to be very cohesive and melding together.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember when we were talking to Becca, she said that you guys didn't even know what your player models looked like. Did you even know what your player model looked like when you first started doing it?
In 7, they already had the model scanned. They like had already done all of that way before we ever came on. Mm-hmm. So one of the first set, they had kind of a looser picture of her, but they also gave us like a printout to get an idea of who they were, a bit about them, all stuff that was like immediately handwrite back to them, can't leave the space.
Okay. Wow, I'm shocked because because when she described it, she said it was like 3. They were known as 3 witches, for theirs, and then she said like she didn't see her model. I was sitting going, I wonder if you saw yours for this one, like your more matured version of Mia.
I did get to see her ahead of time. in a couple of different things, and they had already animated some. I was able to see and match some things with that. So it was kind of nice, but it was very like, the first thing I thought was like, oh, she's so grown up.
Okay.
Like, oh, she's all grown up. Look at her.
They didn't actually give you a real baby, right? To do the scenes where you're like, they didn't give you no actual baby, right? Or they give you was like a prop.
They originally said they might. So when I was first told that I was being brought back, they did say we might get to work with a child, which I was excited about. Like, I love kids. I love working with kids. So I was excited, but then as it went into it, it was just a doll they used. And then COVID happened. So then even more so, things were so much more spread apart. So when we could shoot, it was usually with only one other actor. And so a lot of the actors that I've become very close with, a lot of my castmates, I never worked with them. Never even saw them on set. I didn't meet them until after the game came out. Like, we didn't even know each other. Yeah. Like, we're in the same game, but we just never had scenes, never worked together. And COVID made everything so separate.
Yeah, that's what that's what Becca said. Y'all never met each other. I'm sitting going, there's no way y'all didn't meet each other. Y'all three, y'all on the set, y'all doing these scenes, and it's like, no way. It's like, no, we never met each other until afterwards. I'm sitting going, wow, that's deep. I did all this stuff in this.
But it also had props to Capcom and casting.
Yeah.
Because they cast all the actors who worked well together, who got along, who definitely had similar personalities. Because when we did meet outside of it, we were just like, you're just like me. You're just as crazy as I am. This is awesome. So.
Oh, no. So when they called you back, were you ever nervous coming back to the role of Mia, or were you just more excited just to see what she's going to do now in this game? Because, she went from being a psycho. Now she's the lovable, protective mother. Now, who knows? We might see in the next way,
Excited. When I got the call that she's still alive, she's coming back, we'd like you. Do you want to? I was, yes. Like, I was so excited. But it wasn't until like right before we were going to start shooting that I actually got the scene, and I only got the one scene. So I thought it was going to be a one and done day. So that's when I got bummed. A little bummed.
I mean, you got shot. I mean, come on, you got shot. You got riddled with bullets. Had to be.
Riddled. There's a difference.
All right, okay. Let me phrase that. You did get riddled. You did get riddled. It was different.
It's reading a story to my baby girl. I'm making dinner for the hubby, and then it's not only riddled with bullets, like they shot my wine. I mean, a good bottle of wine was ruined. It's just, there was a lot. There was a lot happening in that scene.
She was about to get loose, and it's like, nope.
So I came to set excited because I knew I was going to see actors from the last game. I knew a couple who were coming back or had been recast. So I was excited to see them and meet a few of the new ones. And then on set, finding out that I wasn't actually completely done and I would get to come back a couple more times made it that much better.
Nah, man, here we go. I got to ask you, what was your favorite scary moment from the franchise, personally? I mean, it could be yours personally. It could be, a scene in the game with Ethan. It could be the fish guy. It could be stunts.
There's so many. I love jump scares. Like, jump scares are so much fun. So I do love the stuff. A lot, the bugs and the Marguerite chasing under the house. Like, I love that.
Going back to 7. Okay. So
yeah.
Okay.
Like, I feel like a lot of those jump scares in 7, and the fact that I got to see a lot of these shot, and then versus 8, I think to see a lot of those scenes shot. So it was kind of like, curses. So with 7, I definitely love that. I love the stairs and then appearing to just terrify. Then was like a great moment. But in 8, I really love all the lichen stuff. Like, I was really jealous of the actress who got to be
Really? You
Lycans.
like the Lycans? I'm shocked.
I
A lot of people did not like the Lycans. They thought they were bullet sponge. Werewolves are cool. I'm a sucker for that lore, like werewolves. So I had no issues with the werewolves. But a lot of people was like, nah, they're bullet sponge. I'm like, I mean, they're werewolves. They're not humans.
The fight was cool. The way they made him look werewolfy, but not full werewolf, like that middle zone. I love the fight scenes with them. Like when they just like rip in and they're just ripping people out of houses and just like coming, like it just, or when people switch over and are turning. To me, that's my place. Like I love me vampires, werewolves, underworld.
Absolutely. There you go. See, I love you. What you just said. I love you. What you just said. Thank you. Absolutely underrated film series. Even though they screwed up after 2, but I'll leave that alone.
1 and 2. But yeah, that stuff was cool. I mean, all the lores are great and the story, but to me, I love side characters. Like those side characters are cool, and a lot of times they pull together stories. And so having those Lycans appear and where they came from, and just shredding apart this village, that was just really cool to me.
Yeah, I was not expecting to lose fingers in this game. I was not
literally
that.
Just bit right off. What
Yeah.
happened? I remember just screaming like.
They're still there, but it's like no. I'm sitting there going, okay, maybe they'll come back. I'm like, maybe he'll just put some peroxide on it. And they didn't heal.
Hands, but if he only loses a finger or 2, he doesn't get those back.
Yeah, that was weird. I was like, okay, I guess not. And then they were pushing our suspension of belief with Lady D. When Lady D chops off your hand and you're walking up the elevator, that right there again. A lot of people were not as afraid of her at first, right? But when they first, I think we all were kind of like, we was like, okay, she doesn't look that scary until the claws came out. I was like, okay, maybe this woman means business. And she chops off your arm, and then your arm is literally hanging on the door. It's like, guys, this is not easy right now.
That's you have to remember to go back for your hand so you can reattach it later.
Yeah, that was weird. You have to literally walk around. I'm like, okay, this woman is walking mad fast. I'm like, guys, I can't get away from her. So
I love the Freddy. Like I appreciate Capcom having.
You notice that
homages.
too with the hat, with the claws. Yeah, definitely homage to Freddy Krueger.
Get in 7, it's very Exorcist like. There's just so many different films that they have these homages to, so I really appreciate that. I love that kind of stuff where you can watch something so many times or play something so many times and then
it never gets old. You just
saw that, or you just catch a new thing. So that's always really, really cool.
Yeah, because I went and platinumed it. I love the game so much, right? I went and platinumed it twice on PS4 and 5, and I was sitting going, there was some stuff I didn't notice. Like, for example, with Lady D, when she's, like, talking to Cassandra, when you kill Becca's character, she's like, what have you done to my daughter? I'm like, okay, I did not see that. And then, you hear other things, like her arguing, like, that man's going to pay. Like, I'm like, okay, this is some extra detail here I was not expecting that was there. And then, of course, if you remember that scene when they found out the twist between you and Mother Miranda, they actually can hear you in the hallway when you go around the door before you open the door. They can hear like chains rattling and you like struggling. I'm sitting going, I don't remember hearing that last time. So it's a lot of subtle hints in that in that game.
Little things. Capcom likes to do that to you. Just little things. See if you catch it. There's like that.
I mean, I know you had a blast playing the character, so I already know the answer to this question. But I'm gonna throw a few other scenarios at you with this too, though. But would you want to play Mia in a new project, let's say a prequel, before she even became possessed, or would you like to play the character, maybe side character and some things for Capcom? Play her again.
I think it would be amazing to get backstory on Mia and Ethan. I would love to have, a Mia, how she got on that how she even hooked up with Umbrella in the first place. To me,
Yeah.
that would be really cool. I would also really, really like Mia to be a badass. You only got a tiny taste of it in 7. I would love, I joke about this with people. Don't be mad at me, Capcom. I'm not saying this is what's being done. This is what I would like. I love, because Chris trained Ethan.
Yeah.
So I would love, we found out Jill trained Mia. And if we got
that
a Jill
would be
Mia.
nice. Yeah, that would be a
Like
nice
that.
little parallel. Yeah. Or Ada Wong. Maybe Ada Wong was working behind the scenes. She makes an appearance. That would have been badass. I mean, who knows?
Cool.
Who knows?
Then there's a little bit more action, fight.
I mean, who knows though? Katie, you might see Ada in the next one. I don't want to spoil anything or say anything, but you might see her in the next one.
Tell me.
It's possible. I looked at that ending a few times there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looked very similar.
To work with, and the way they left that end credit scene in 8 leaves a lot open. They have a lot to work with, so we'll have to see what they do.
It looked like a guy from a distance, right? But then when they focus in, it looks like a female. So I was like, is that who I think it is? Is that Ada? Never know. I mean, never know. You might come back. You might, they might have Resident Evil 9 be Mia's Vengeance.
Yes. Mia and Rose team.
I gotta throw this at you. How do you feel about where Mia is now after all this time and what she has been through, from 7 through 8, going potentially, obviously, into 9? I said potentially, Capcom. Potentially into 9. So I got that out there.
I love seeing her growth. I don't like we haven't gotten to really see her fight. So I like grown as a person. I like that we've seen that she's matured. I would like to see a little bit more fight with her because the poor thing just keeps getting locked in dungeons. I want to see her fight and not just be locked up in a stupid
No more
dungeon.
damsel in distress. You want to see her fight?
She talks, she's, kind of sounds badass. And I'm not just saying that because it's my voice, but her lines, she's very, this is how, what's going on, tell me, she's got that tone. So I want to also see the physicality of all right, screw this. Give me the gun. I'm going to get things done.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you have a powerful daughter now, so you would need to be tougher than normal with the character if they were to go down that route.
She's raising Rose. She probably had to learn some training to get around whatever's happening over there.
That's a lot going on with Rose. That's a lot. That's a lot of eggs in one basket. Let me tell you, she's doing a lot of stuff.
Therapy, definitely.
He said she needs therapy. What's your favorite quote from the game, or do you have a favorite quote from the game?
So from 8. From 8, I really like Chris, what have you done? From the very, very end.
Oh.
When goes, it's so guttural because she knows, but Chris promised to.
Yeah.
And so I love that line. I love how she's saying what she knows. It's just so heartbreaking. So I really love that line from 8. From 7,
demonic voice. Let me guess. Demonic voice, maybe.
Yes, 7 has got to be the demonic. Yeah, it's the.
Somebody clip this. I need somebody in the chat to clip this. There's a clip button. We need to clip that. I'm just saying for Twitter. That was perfect. She still got it. So I thought you were going to say you shouldn't have done that. I thought you were going to say that line where she throws you to the wall with the chainsaw.
Nice. I mean, that one I do love doing also, but there's something about that breathing and that.
See enough that you're just walking up the stairs, not the hissing.
It's a single line that just shoots so much fear into someone.
Oh man, there you go.
But get the, is on here because we can give him a little Blaze. Blaze. I know you didn't me, but you shouldn't have done that. It fucking hurts.
Perfect. Perfect, man. Perfect. Everybody in the chat's like going like, what? Oh, Blaze. Blaze always.
Blaze, shout out,
Blaze never escapes. I'm telling you, I survived my man blood intact. Now obviously he can't survive the demon. This is crazy. This man Blaze is a corpse.
You have to deal with all of it, so. Ryan.
I'm prepared. I'm prepared. I platinumed the entire series. I'm prepared.
Ryan, stay away.
I'm running out the door now.
Warns you first. She does. She
does. She definitely does. I got to bring this question back because, Becca was smart with this one. We were having fun with this one. I don't know if you watched the interview to prepare, but I gotta throw this out there. It's a little spin there. So if they come at you, don't blame this guy. Who? You ready?
I'm here.
Who's your favorite co-star?
I get an easy out. I only had one co-star.
Oh. These are her words, Becca. Or not mine. It's her words.
Actor I really worked with, which was Todd. I got a tiny
So Ethan Winters wins by default, is what you're saying. He wins by default. Sort of. Wow.
And
so look at that.
And also did a lot of mean things to him, so I think he deserves the love.
I mean, you took his hand. You definitely could. You took his hand. You threw him through walls. Gave him PTSD.
Took a job. I disappeared for 3 years. Reached back out. Chopped off his hand. Stabbed him with a screwdriver.
Yeah, it's a lot. He's been through a lot. Poor Todd.
Mold baby with him. I mean, there was a lot happening. I think Ethan. I love everyone so much, but I think Ethan kind of by default.
Wow. There you guys go. She answered
that
one.
Easy because I didn't get to with any of the lords. I didn't get to see everyone.
Okay. I gotta ask you this. What's your thoughts on the future of the actual gaming industry? Do you see a bright future? Do you see a complicated one? With the way this game was made with 8, do you see things becoming more easier?
Bright future because the technology is so amazing. It's just becoming so real, and how they're doing it, the storylines they can do, it's really cool. So I see a really bright future in that, and also online, the streaming. It's making more people want to check things out. I was nervous to start gaming, but by watching other people stream and by starting to see what people do, how it works, and what community is out there, it made me go, I kind of want to do this. I want to be a part of this. So I think it's bringing in a lot of people who have never really been into gaming or knew much about it, which is great. On top of it, I'm very hopeful. I'm seeing a lot more female gamers who are really hardcore and really strong in what they do, and I love seeing that. But also on the actual games, I'm seeing more strong female characters being written, not damsels in distress. So I'm kind of doing that, and I'm really happy that I am coming into it in a time where they are starting to take female characters and go, okay, she can be more. She can do more. So it's kind of exciting to see what can happen next with all of this.
Okay. Yeah, you got your Tomb Raiders with Lara Croft. You got the new approach they've done with Uncharted. I don't know if you played any of the Uncharted games. Those are another one.
What is it? Event Horizon, I think is
Event
another
Horizon.
big one.
That's a movie.
A different one. Now it's gonna
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon.
You talking about that one? I was like, you brought up a horror film. I'm like, wait, Event Horizon. I haven't seen that in God knows how long, but I remember it.
Oh God, this is gonna drive me crazy.
Do you see?
I know. I literally just saw a trailer for it and I was like, this looks badass. It's like chick redhead, and now I can't think of the name of it, and it's gonna bug the heck out of me.
Yeah, Horizon. That's it. Horizon Zero Dawn or Forbidden West. Yeah, Forbidden West.
Yeah. I just threw the event in there because
Horizon.
It's when you play it. I'm just bullshitting my way through this.
Like, okay, so when we think of Aloy, we gotta think of demonic possessions and horror. I don't know what to say about that one.
No, I just think there's a lot of places to go, and a lot just women and actresses who are like, yeah, I want this. I want to learn more and be strong and be these types of characters. So it's just exciting for me in this time of acting, for sure.
Okay, all right. Now, obviously, I know you said you don't let your nephews or little ones play this game. But I'm letting you know right now, with 7 especially, you're a part of people's childhoods, right? So I got to ask you, how do you feel knowing that you're a big part of their childhoods and, of course, Resident Evil lore? Does that bring a big smile to that face?
Like, can you see?
She's glowing.
Like, I'm so grateful for all of this because I never could have imagined how big it would be or how well received not only the game but my character, and then beyond that myself. I mean, the community, the fans, everybody has been so amazing, reaching out and wanting to talk or learn or be a part of streams. There's so much that I never was going to be part of my world, and now it all is, which is really, really cool. Mm-hmm. But also for me to reach out to fans and hearing not only that I either was a part of their childhood or this game or my character or other characters helped them through difficult times, helped them step away from what they were dealing with, and they could just kind of have this enjoyment. And that's the whole reason I got into acting. The whole reason I wanted to be an actor was because I was like, I know when I have a hard time, I go to film, I go to theater. Like, I want to be able to, like, let go of my life for an hour or 2 hours. And so I always wanted to become an actor because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to offer that to people. And it's taken this many years to actually have people tell me that I did, like, part of what I was doing. And it just,
Did you ever picture it would be through a video game character, or was you more traditional with how you thought it was going to work out?
I mean, I know that video gaming or motion capture really existed in this realm. So in my mind, I didn't even know that this was a possibility for me, acting wise. It was a really unknown world for a really long time. And until Evil came about and I started learning it, and now, like, I take classes and I keep up and I keep learning about more with motion capture, creatures, stunt, like all these things, because I want to continue it. So when I first wanted to be an actor, I didn't even know this was a possibility. So to me, there was only one way, and it was film, TV, theater. And then with starting to do that, it was like, oh, okay, there's also voiceover. Okay, so maybe cartoons and characters. And then it was, wait, there's now video games. And so it just growing and growing, which has been the coolest part of being an actor, is seeing how the industry and the world keeps growing.
Okay. Let me see here. So looking back on the start of, this particular new approach to Resident Evil, the first person perspective, if you were able to go back in time and start over, would you change anything? Would you ask them to, reconsider anything, or would you keep it just as it is? Go Come on, Mia. You know, come on. I know Miss Winters wants something changed.
I'm honestly, the only thing I can think of is letting her a little more.
That's all I'm about to say. There you go. I was waiting for that. There you go.
I would say the only thing, and I feel like she got that in 7, so this would be more for 8. I think the only thing, because I did love that she got to have the emotional growth, but you know, it would have been cool to be like, can I get a couple of licks in? Like, can I fight one lord or monster?
No one at Capcom be like that movie. What's that movie called? Lucy. It was all mind power. She was doing knowing them, they'll probably do something wild. Because they did that with I forgot his name. The dude who was he was like a magnet. He controlled metal. I forgot his name. It starts with an H. Hirschenberg.
Oh wait. Oh,
was it? I forgot his name.
Heisenberg.
Heisenberg. There you go. Heisenberg. Yeah, that's Hirschenberg. Heisenberg. That guy. It's just like down line. Okay, they definitely touched upon stuff like that. So I was like, knowing Capcom, she probably just crushed them with her hands and throw them.
I think there's one thing that I would not change, but there's one thing that I would ask for, and this is me being a little sap. For Ethan to get a goodbye, because technically they never got a goodbye, and that breaks my heart so much, because 7 of 8, and you know, she was dead. He then goes, she's like they never get their goodbye, and that kills me. I so badly want a goodbye from them.
She wanted that final hug, huh? You got his jacket. You got a memento. Ah, okay, that's not.
She doesn't share. You want to try ask kid for that thing?
I mean, looking at the way she grew up, you know, with the time jump, obviously, she's you know, Mia obviously kept the memory alive from what it was. It's like a tradition. She visits his grave, his memorial stone. So you still have the connection.
Middle story, like, how did Mia do raising her? You know, how was their relationship moving forward and dealing with?
Probably Chris. Probably was the badass, taught her, you know, behind the scenes, maybe.
It's Chris anymore, so I wonder how that all went. That's what I want to know.
Waiting for Ada Wong. I'm waiting for that twist. I'm just waiting for Ada Wong to show up. That's what I'm waiting for. It's like reports, and you be like, "Oh yeah, she's grown now. We're ready." I don't know.
Face right there.
Oh my god. So these last couple questions here, just for you personally. Now, like to get, you know, obviously we got to know Mia Winters. We got to know the person behind it. But I want everybody to really know Katie O'Hagan. So, you know, future reference. What is Katie O'Hagan's favorite film, and what's your favorite genre when it comes to movies?
My favorite film, but my favorite genre are two very different things.
I know. That's why I was gonna have fun with this.
Film is Disney's The Little Mermaid. Grew up with that. That is
Little Mermaids. Okay.
That is, I love Little Mermaid is my go-to happy place movie. Favorite genre though of movies is definitely horror.
Well, that's a different. So that's like the light and dark she has right here. She says, "I like The Little Mermaid. And I like horror films as in general." Okay. So I'm guessing you're hyped for Halloween Kills, right?
Scary movie night. I watched Malignant last night.
Ooh.
So that was a good one. Watched The Thing the night before, going old school.
Okay. Oh, you watched okay. You said old school, so you watched the original, not the prequel. Okay.
1982.
Yeah. Still holds up good. Still holds up well. The prequel was unnecessary.
Unnecessary. It's
unnecessary.
Seem like I haven't seen that one.
You're
so I went to Thing.
I'm jealous of you already.
Yeah. Secret Window, which is another underrated Stephen King short with Johnny Depp, short story turned into.
Okay.
So that's a really good one. Yeah, so got to see what tonight will bring. I think we're still old school tonight, so I'll have to see what we want to. I have a whole list.
So you watch a lot of. Okay, I see. Okay, we're similar in that. A lot of people watch just the big budget horror films. They don't watch any of the other stuff.
But I like finding ones. Like last year, there were a lot of like old 70s and 80s horror films, like 70, like weird ones. I got a couple of foreign films on the list that I'm excited. So like The Orphanage.
Hey, we got a new TV show to look out for too. Child's Play. That's gonna look good. Even though the last movie was rough. That was a little rough.
Play is for me like the most terrifying. It scared me as a child so much. So to me, that is probably the scariest of horror films.
You were terrified of Chucky?
Watched that when I was way too young, and I thought my stuffed animals were going to kill me every night. So I would apologize to them if they didn't sleep in the bed with me, and the ones that slept in the bed, like I would rotate them, and I'd be like, okay, you guys get the bed tonight, and you guys in the closet, you'll be in bed tomorrow night, because I didn't want them to kill me.
So it's like a Toy Story effect. You were like, nice toys. You're like Sid.
For Child's Play, maybe it would have been okay, but I saw Child's Play, so.
Oh no.
That is gonna. I definitely want to do a Friday the 13th marathon. Like, I'm originally in Crystal Lake, so I got to do a Friday the 13th marathon.
Some age well, some don't.
The point that start actual scary, and then they get campier and campier and campier, and that's what's kind of fun about it.
What was the one with the telekinetic girl? I forgot which one that was. Was it 8 or 7?
I think it was 5 or 6.
Was it 5 or 6? Oh, okay. I was a little confused by that one.
She wants to raise her dad from the lake, and she wants to raise him.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so not only is she telekinetic, she's enchanted because she made her father, who's not a corpse, come out the water and like pull him under. It's like, yeah, this is weird.
Yeah. You know, they get campy. I just look at like, what is it? Jason in Manhattan. I mean, they get pretty ridiculous.
I mean, Jason on the boat. Might as well call that Jason on the boat.
Best. Jason in space. I mean,
oh gosh, she brought up Jason X. No, don't do that.
Good, like so bad. I love it. Yeah.
He turns to a robot, people. He's indestructible.
So. All the scary ones in, and then you got to feed in with the random ones that no one's ever heard of. So
I gotta throw. Did you at least watch Leprechaun? Okay.
Come on.
Nobody gives him. Nobody talks about Warwick Davis or his work. I don't get it. No one.
Amazing. Have you ever seen Life's Too Short? Such a good show. I wish it came back. I was so bummed it didn't.
Yeah, we used to have we had a lot of great stuff back in the day. We had the Angel series, we had Buffy, we had a lot of variety. I'll say that when it comes to horror themed esque.
Yeah.
And now we don't really have as much. Like I remember Masters of Horror used to come on. I don't know if you remember that show. It was like little mini movies from directors.
I remember Tales from the Late Night.
Oh, see, there you go. Death of a Salesman, one of my favorites, and Tales of the Crypt.
And then you had Elvira.
Oh, yeah.
Mistress
of the Darkness. Yeah. we all know Elvira.
Yeah, I'm not the same way. I love playing a princess and then a demonic creature. So
you like being a fantasy and you like being a nightmare. You like the clash in between.
Love the
guys, you might want to be careful around Miss Katie O'Hagan. I'm staying out there. Uh-oh. And she did the Freddy Krueger gesture? Oh, no. I got to ask you, what's the best part of being known as Mia Winters?
The interaction. Like getting the interaction with fans and getting to meet people and hear their stories about, what they like. I love stories of like their first time playing or the first time they tricked a friend into playing it in VR and watched him get scared shitless.
Did they ever like approach you like I don't know if you ever went to Comic-Con or any of these little events, but have you ever seen somebody dressed up as Mia and get up? No?
Yeah, I've only done one con so far. no Mias. There were like a couple of Lady D's, some who else?
I know I
Some
saw Becca's. Yeah,
Belas.
Bela.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him Bela.
Yeah. So really, I've seen online Mia cosplays, which are great. I haven't seen any in person, but I have my own that I've created for cons and for streaming. So I bring my Mia out every once in a while.
Oh, so you do the shot for shot full character look, like for signings, I guess?
On my page, I have a couple of prints that people can get that are my cosplay. So it's me in character with.
Okay. Look at you. I gotta check these out.
And there's streamly.com/Katie O'Hagan. So there's some cool ones. And at the end of the month, I'm doing a Halloween signing. So that'll be fun. In costume, of course. Whatever Halloween costume I decide to wear this year.
I got a message from my friend Big Mike in the chat. He said, have you seen the Welcome to Raccoon City trailer?
So I'm excited for it, mainly because I'm excited because I haven't played, so I only know certain characters by name, but I don't really know a big background. So I'm almost excited to watch it and then go play the games. Like, it's a different situation, I guess. A different view, I guess. I'm not tainted or mad. And it works out because the same happened for me with 7. If I would have known I was auditioning for Resident Evil, I would have done research and background, which wouldn't have helped me in 7 because 7 was a totally different story. So I kind of going into things really clueless and seeing if I like it. And then I can go play the games and go, okay, what was the same? What did they change? What did they do? So I can just go fresh.
Definitely avoid the movies with Mila Jovovich. Definitely avoid those.
I did watch.
You watched all of them, didn't you? You just sat there and watched all of them?
No. That's like the first few. The first time after 7 came out, it was the first time somebody reached out to interview me, and I didn't know that the movies had nothing to do with the game. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll at least watch like 2 or 3 of the movies to get an idea. And I watched it and I was like, I'm a little confused.
Yeah, the first one kind of was a little bit accurate until they made Alice, because Alice is not really a major character. At that point, you might as well turn her into Jill or somebody else.
Somebody else.
Yeah, they didn't
Claire.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah, so and then I read on a bunch of storyboards that shame movies are not the same. So
pretty bad. They do not age well.
Yeah. So I was okay, I'll stay away from the movies and just focus on the games.
Smart. No, smart. Oh boy. Last thing we need is you sounding like Mila as Mia, and then turn into demonic Mia, and then going back to that.
Decide to do any movies or shows with the Winters family, I really hope I get a phone call because I would like the chance to play Mia. It would get the chance.
You said next is Todd. I might ask Katie for that honor. We'll see. Off air. No, I'll ask Katie for that later. That's on the wraps. So obviously we answered that question there. So last 2. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your love for Resident Evil and the role of Mia Winters?
5.
You said a 5? What?
No, I said a 25.
A 25 out of 10. There you go.
That is a part of me. Like, I love this character. I love getting to play. I love where they're going with the stories and the visuals within the game. So I'm a big fan. I know I'm a little biased. I'm a big fan.
No, it's understandable. Like, I see it. Like, I told Becca this, when she was doing the signings, and I see you as well, and I'm like, this doesn't feel like I'm like a group of actors just talking about a game. This feels like a legit sisterhood. All of you are just having fun. You're reciting their lines. You're interacting with the fans. You're doing all this. And whenever there's you might think there's a dull moment or something like that might happen, Here comes one of you with a a little spin from the game, like Becca. I bring you fresh pins. Here you, thank you, daughter. And then you, I left Phil. You know, it's always fun.
Here and there, yeah. You're just being paranoid. I mean, the little stuff.
I see, man. See, look at that. Look at y'all. Mark said, "Would you play Mia in the Resident Evil movie if they made one?"
If they let me. 100%.
If they let you.
If they let me.
There you go.
This is my baby. This is my love. Like, at least let me audition for it.
So you want to be a camp? So you want to be Mia in a cameo? They have you dressed up as, and then like a zombie eats you.
Just let me just walk in. I'll just walk across and be like.
You know, Kate, I'm honestly surprised you didn't play a character. I'm just gonna throw this at you. I'm surprised you haven't seen you in The Walking Dead. What is up with this? What is going on here? I've never seen you in The Walking Dead.
Dead commercial years and years and years ago. That was a lot of fun. Be a zombie in a Fitbit commercial that was linked with like The Walking Dead. So it was like a zombie run and we were zombies. So that was really fun. That was like the only thing I've been able to do.
Never want to be a whisperer?
I would. I just I need to get those producers and casting directors to look at my stuff.
Oh man, I mean, a good opportunity. I'm like, good God, I would love to see you as a whisperer. You know, walking with the crowd. Head
over Georgia, go to Atlanta where they shoot, and be like, okay, I'm ready. What do you need?
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I actually went to the shooting location on there before. I visited it. It was cool.
Cool.
Yeah, they had like everything built around it.
I had a friend who fear the Walking Dead, and she got to be. I was very jealous. I was like, oh, that is so cool. I want to do that.
There you go. I love to see you as a vampire. Or, I mean, not vampire. Well, really, you work either one, but I would love to see you as a walker.
Any of any
werewolf
sort of
too, huh? A werewolf too. She wants to be a werewolf as well.
I was the ones who got. I think Neil, Andy, a couple other people got to be Lycans in 8. I was very jealous of the motion capture. I was like, I want to jump on people and just claw at them. And, like, that would.
You want to eviscerate people? Oh no! Here we go. Mia Winters, ladies and gentlemen. The more you know, the more you know. Well, Katie, that pretty much is the end. But before I ask, I mean, we're at the end. That's pretty much all the questions I have. We went through everyone. But I did this with Agent 47 because we had David Bateson on here last time. So shout out to David Bateson. But I got to ask you, if you want this a little closing little comment, you can close the show with. In your Mia Winters voice, could you tell the chat how much fun you had on the show, and would you like to return? It could be the demonic voice. It can be normal, protective mom, Mia.
It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. And we just can't hang out. I would love to be able to come back, but much you need to know. If you get this, stay away or come. It's up to you.
There you go. I never understood that scene. Like, she says, stay away, and then she sends him the message. I'm like, it would have been logically not to say nothing. Not to avoid it.
It wasn't her. It was Evelyn taking over her.
I know, but it was still funny. She's like, you don't want to come over here, even though my location is here at this second. Here's the dates. Here's the time. I'm alive. Just don't come here.
GPS.
Oh, Lord. Here we go. Guys, that's episode 166, man. This was absolutely fun, man. Shout out to everybody who came through. We had a great show. I was joined by a very awesome Katie O'Hagan. She was awesome as always. Of course, shout out to everybody who's, supports Resident Evil, who supported. I appreciate you. Had a blast. I'm glad Katie had fun. That's the goal here. And of course, best believe we'll definitely have her back at some point. Maybe I know she's busy, but maybe when Resident Evil 9 drops, I'll definitely ring her up for that. You know, that way we'll have a cross up between us. Like, did she make it or not? If she ain't make the cut, Capcom, you're gonna feel my wrath. I'm just saying.
Good to know. Thank you so much. This was a lot of fun.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for coming on, especially short notice. I know I hit you about the blue, and I was sitting going, okay, let me go about business. And that's the funny. That's what I love about you and Becca and everybody. All of you are quick to reply. Like, you guys just love to talk about the game. I love hearing your stories. You know, your love for the characters, and all of you have the same thing in common. You know, Becca's like, you know, Bayla's my child. Here you are, me as my child. I'm like, yeah, I feel it. I feel it.
In a lot to us.
Well, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you guys for coming through. I will see you tomorrow for 167, and have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your day. Appreciate everybody who came through again. Of course, the lovely Katie O. Hagan. Thank you again. And
thank you.
We're out of here.